Good morning, welcome to HeKate's Crossing. Good afternoon, sorry. For the weekend of the 18th, the 8th, 2018. So it's the 18th of August, 2018. I want to talk a really important subject that I totally recommend to anyone picking up tarot, who's been working with tarot for a long time, who's picking up a new tarot deck maybe. Any time that you work with tarot, I suggest you start a journal. These are journals that I've created. I've got more, but they're in storage somewhere and haven't been returned to me, so just forget about those. So we're just talking about journals here. Journals can write in your words of wisdom given me through my rites of passage. I wrote a medicine song from the Native American Tarot. I love this, and I'm just going to read this here. Sire Medicine Song. Grant our children life and happiness. Send forth the good south wind. Send forth your breath over the waters, that our world may be beautiful and alive. For all over there, Sun Father awakens and climbs up his ladder, looking for his resting place. May all complete life's long road. May all grow old. May our little ones know the sweet smell of the sacred breath of life. May all our children have maids, that they may complete their journey. Sit down and remain here. We give our best, gift our best thoughts. We inhale the sweet smell of the sacred breath through our prayer plumes. Native American Tarot by Magda Wet Gonzalez. Now, I absolutely love that. When I picked up the Native American Tarot, I wrote that down. I thought that was really important. And the Witches read because of all the Wiccan read. So there's that as well. Just wrote that in just to remind, just a little bit of thought. You know, by the Witches read, ye must in perfect love and perfect trust. 8 words the reed thou must fulfill, and it harm none, do as ye will. What ye send forth comes back to thee, so ever mind the rule of 3. Carry this in mind and heart, and merry ye meet and merry ye part. There's just a version that I wrote down I thought was quite beautiful. Just reminds us in our daily life. Something I wrote on a spiritual journey. It began a while ago, a feeling of despair. I walked away from that place and began a new journey. A journey, you asked? Where did you travel to? My journey has not stopped. The feelings in my heart, it spurns me on. My soul travels, my spirit continues. It never stops. The journey I travel so far. Now that's a personal thing I wrote. That's reminding me about how I was feeling before I began this journey. I'd gone through a sort of a difficult relationship, which I finally walked away from. It was feelings of having to really look at my life and how I was living, and that I was brought up in an Anglican home, a Church of England, and I shifted and changed into more of a connecting with the gods and the goddesses. I became not just one god, but I realised there were many aspects of the gods and the goddesses, both masculine and feminine, and embraced a lot. So little things that I wrote, I've carried on and written through here. And then I looked at when I was going through birthing, when I was having a child, I wrote down about the pagan rites of passage, so I wrote that down. There's a little bit about that, going through rituals and stuff, tree planting when I had a child that also passed. So that was things that I wrote on. And I also dedicating myself of what I wrote, hand fasting when I remarried, when I sort of went through a recommitment with partner. Different things I've written in, different thoughts. And then I started to look at tarot, tarot course through BMS Partworks. So I looked at what, just little things that I wrote down, what swords mean, blades in air, the mind, intellect and spiritually revealing my mental attitudes, how we use our perceptions, I deal with life, cutting edge, wands, pipes and fire. So this is to do with the Native American Tarot again. Energy, drive, activities and competition, transformations and change, use, willpower to accomplish our goals and our souls. Pentacles, shields and earth, physical aspects, positions, our body, energy, keep us grounded, pay attention to our bodies, health and strength, attitude to work, finances, the material world. Lower numbers represent foundations, high numbers become more secure. Cups are vessels of water, emotions, feeling and relationships, flow of emotions, friendships, love and relationships, reveal inner feelings, state of current relationships and newness, letting go and moving on in the loving cup. So you can sort of see, writing down my thoughts, what I've discovered in regards to the tarot. Then something else comes up with the aspects of people, like in the court cards. Guys are blonde-haired, fair-skinned. Blonde-haired, fair-skinned, lovers and family, emotionally liked, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Haired, dark-skinned, wealth, work, colleagues, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Then you've got swords, brown-haired, olive-skinned, and then you've got Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Wands, red-haired, ruddy complexion, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So that was getting into the astrology side of the cards. Not that I use that very often, unless it comes up in a reading, and it's really important. Then I talked about Ace ones of being beginning the first step, willpower, need to take it. Its upsurge of energy provides the impetuous to move forward. 2, this signifies balance and harmony. It stems 1 + 1, setting the stage for the addition of one's creative energy. 3 represents expansion and growth, and the changes that result it brings life, but may not need to be held in check. 4 reveals the emergence and order, contains energy which can be gradually developed and then used constructively. 5 shows how conflict can arise from misuse of power and how breaking out of constraints to expand can get out of hand. 6, the number of beauty, where peace and balance are restored, helps to develop harmony within relationships. 7, this shows that inner growth of learning it taking place through sacrifices may need to be made along the way. 8 signifies dynamic energy which moves forward towards an end of something and a change of a situation. 9 represents the ending of a cycle and gathering of energy that occurs while lessons are integrated. Oh, I see. While past lessons are integrated. 10 indicates a state of completion and also the beginning of a cycle that leads to new things. 10 is comprised of 1 + 0. So pages are 11, Knights 12, Queen 13, and King 14, and 0, the Fool, represents potential. It is unbroken circle, contains all possibilities. And then I go through and I rewrite what I think what each of the suits, each of the cards mean in the minor arcana, and I go through and I just write up, maybe I've done a reading and then I've written up bits and pieces, like there's a reading here with a questioner. Issue right now was 2 of water, love, and I just go through and write up. I've done a reading on the 13th of the 5th, 07, says a small medicine, integration, transformation, star, moon, chaos. Okay, it talks about go with the flow, change the things you can accept, those you can't, you may have to let things roll, beginning to build new foundations, moderation, learn to accept things as they are, explore the current situation continuously, and be wary of excess. Long-term relationship being entered into consciously and gladly, or long-lasting friendship based on admiration and respect. So that's interesting. That was 2007. Moving on, change and end to the current situation and dramatic change. Over the past is behind you. You can fully move on. A mature adult man, dreams of wishes. Your dreams come true like a wish on a star. Hope and faith, something to look forward to receive pleasure within current situation. Head to make changes with life on positive. Hidden depths, be aware that not everything is visible. Some things are obscured and hidden from view. Upheaval, apparently safety and security is challenged. It may be time to cut your losses and abandon past ties. Interesting. So I went around and looked at the Vision Quest Tarot. I wrote down my thoughts on each of the cards there, the clown, if it's a fool. And I wrote the floor. I don't know why I wrote that. There must have been a reason why. Innocence, exploration, new journey. Be aware of where you are stepping. You are protected, rushing in. So I just go through and write up the major arcana. So it's really important to go through, and then I've done a page. And there's lots of blank pages, but I never actually finished that one. Go through and have another look at it. Oh, Book of Shadows, purple. Oh, so I started to write it in one of my other books, obviously. I went to a medium reading. Oh, maybe this is a reading I did. It was a reading that I did and I wrote down. And then it was things that I've watched on TV, watched opera, John Edwards and Alison Dubois, read Jeanette Wilson's new book, and wanted to go to Central Theatre to see her on 28th of May, which I did. Talk about choices. Determining colours with numerology. Oh my god, I just wrote up so much little bit of information. Acknowledging teachers. Transform 100 Ways by Wayne Dwyer. So information that I've discovered, I wrote up little bits and pieces. And it's really interesting to look back on and have a look at some of the things that I've read and looked at. Now here I've got 25th of February 2009. Since I wrote in Book of Shadows, so much has happened. Met somebody who'd been together for a year. They're still friends. Collected partworks, crystal stone partworks. 4 tarot decks by that time. Was Native American. Oh yes, 4 tarot decks that I actually used. I actually grabbed a couple more by the looks of it. A whole lot of oracle decks. I actually ended up with about 6 tarot decks. A whole lot of oracle decks. Things like Sacred Path cards, Crystal Alley, Oracle of the Dragon Fae, Crystal Oracle, Gaia, Magdalene, Ask an Angel, Messages from Your Angels, Goddess Guidance. Oh my goodness, so much. Angels, Archangel, Oracle, Ascended Masters, Healing with the Angels, Goddess Oracle, Soul and Purpose cards, Chakra Labyrinth, Vibrational Healing cards, Wolf Song cards, Medicine cards, Tipiana's Fortune cards, Spirit Stones, Runes, Crystal Wisdom Kit, I Ching, and Dowsing Rods. Oh my god, and I set up a healing room at home. I remember doing that. Belonged to websites and message boards, lots of soul energy clearing, universal balance and universal linking and Reiki I've been doing a lot of. I've been to Calvin Cruikshank's Soul Food Show. I mean, these are all things that are really interesting to look back at. I've been and saw Deb at the Municipal Theatre, working 3 days at a shop. Talked about that, talking about being in other message boards like Mystic Board and all that sort of stuff, done readings, chakra and Reiki stuff, Eclectic Tarot Forum, I remember being on there. It was doing lots of tarot exchanges, readings and all sorts of things there. Did some stuff on Trade Me, went into Trade Aid and got a singing bowl. I mean, it's interesting to look back at Lucy Cavendish's Oracle Tarot. When I shuffled and got 7 of Swords, 8 Pentacles, 9 Swords, 7 Wands, 7 Cups, the Lovers, Ace of Wands, 2 of Cups, Empress, and 8 of Cups. So, and then I wrote that down, you know, ego, internal politics, talent fulfills, stress, anxiety, taking a stand, decadence, indulgence, soulmate, decisions, follow your dreams, loving union, teamwork, sensuality, fertility, and contemplation. So you can just go through and have a, I mean, it's just such a good tool in reading. So I'm sharing some of my personal stuff here, you know, going through Tarot for the Healing Heart by Christine Jett. What an awesome book. I wish I had that again. Unfortunately, of course, in the shift, I lost a lot of those original books, but I'm so pleased I wrote this down. Affirmation: I'm calm, strong, and centered. I'm at peace, safe, and secure. I enjoy who I am. I expect healing, and I am thankful for it. I mean, it's such cool. And the High Priestess, what's your intuition telling you? What do you need to remember from your past or your dreams to heal? What are the High Priestess gifts to you? What are her challenges? Justice, what need to be set right for healing to occur? What is your gift and challenge from Justice? Judgment, what action can you take in your own behalf to regain a sense of personal power? What challenges can you make right now that will change karma? Or what choices can you make right now that will change karma? What is the gift of judgment to you? What is the challenge? And then it's got the picture of the pain. So you've got the pain, the awareness, status, conscious, materialistic state of change, we call it. The Emperor. Oh my God, that's so interesting to look back on. The broken heart, the heart of darkness, physical plane, emotional plane, psychological plane, spiritual plane. So there you've got a spread. I don't know if you can, it's a bit hard to sort of see, unfortunately. There we go. There we go. The broken heart spread. Try it. And then you know, and looking back on that, it's Ace of Swords. The Four of Wands, Six of Wands, Seven of Wands, the Lovers, Three of Swords. I mean, a fresh perspective. I mean, another, I don't know if you can see that there, just trying to come through. There we go. You can sort of see a spread there, facing the challenges. I mean, it's so interesting to go back and have a read and have a look. I mean, Headless Horseman, another spread. You know, letting go of fear, the good grief spread. Meditation for healing. These are things that I did over time, and you know, really allowed. And you look back and you think, oh my God, that's so interesting. Again, Tarot of the Healing Heart. You know, go through and read Broken Heart. A little bit of information about the Blue Angel Oracle. I mean, it's just going through and reading information. It's so interesting. What else have we got? Here, we've got another journal here that I sort of started. And I got journals all over. Oh, here we go. Animal totems. Puma. So if you're interested in animal totems, the Puma. Power. Desire healing, East guide, spiritual challenge, guards path to illumination. 2, Raven, creation, magic, illumination, self, protects, child within, wow, and trust. 3, Ram, sacrifice, growth, divine life, West, leads personal truth, inner awareness. 4, Birds, soul, divinity, liberation, creativity, rebirth, north, wise, and counsel. 5 is the monkey, agility, courage, spirit, above, guardian, or dream time. So it goes on. I mean, there's so much little bit of information through here, different spreads and websites to look at, and you know, and personal things that have been going on, personal days. Oh, I did the whole Best of Life, a personal guide for the most important person in my life, me. Numerology 3. So 3 was my birth date and the name. So positive, lucky, natural, versatile, social, optimistic, gift of words, creative, emotional, seeking perfection. Negative, wasteful, outspoken, gossipy, extravagant, opinionated, vain, wasteful. So those things that I had to learn about myself. Symbol was Jupiter, positive aspect Sagittarius, negative aspect Pisces. Introvert, weekday Thursday, ambition, style, people who want to go ahead in the world. The number for personal expression, willing to work hard and have a strong sense of duty. Lucky number, attract money, bring joy, are enthusiastic, enjoy entertainment, society, and make dreams come true. Observant, keen mind, critical, learn quickly and easily, best when creative, imaginative, optimistic, good communicators, gift of speech and use of words, take them 4. Universal year was 3, personal year 8, a year to create a sense of joy and more at the lighter sense of life. That was 2010. Looking back, it was a year to create a sense of joy and more at the lighter side of life. And that was the year I created my healing centre in town. So material, accomplishments, rewards, recognition, take action to achieve goals, make it happen, feel empowered. So interesting. Talked about 2011, 2012 as well, 2013. Wow, it just sort of goes on, you know, personal month goes through 2012, years, personal day. So I just went through and did a bit of numerology and that one, sort of like the number stuff there. And then I've got Love Life and After, I've got this one there, looking at a book in particular, just doing some of the exercises and stuff through some of the books. The Rite for Sacred Fires, okay, that's a bit more Wiccan. And that one, Book of Shadows, so we won't go into that one. This one here, we're looking at spiritual. Oh, it was just a weekend thing that I would do with some friends. We'd go in and we'd do a little bit of learning, looking through different books, obstacle analyst grid. I'm studying made fun, shifting gear. Or just looking again, you're looking at books and things and oh, here we go. We've got some different spreads and things. January 2009, new beginning. So you're going through and just writing up your readings, thoughts. I mean, there's so much. Oh, I did runes. There was a little practice of runes at that time. I wasn't really into them hugely, but they were there. Rider-Waite, little thoughts and things about different spreads, different cards. Celtic spread, I mean, Angels, Gods and Goddesses, Tony Salerno. Celtic Cross, the issue or present situation was Angel of Manifestation. The influence of the obstacle was the Angel of Diet with nutrition. Oh my God, that was so important at the time. The recent past for background of situation was Angel of Guidance. The present, how it's affecting you now, was a Goddess of Sacred Path. Near future was Goddess of Knowledge. Far future was Angel of Clearing. The questioner, that was me at the time, was Angel of Pleasure. Environmental factors was the guardian of the Goddess of the Unknown. Hopes and fears was Angel of Expression. Outcome, the final combination of the cards, was Goddess of Strength. The clarifying card was God of Indulgence. And the major clarifying card was Goddess of Justice. So interesting. And then we've got the Psychic 7 was Angel of Pleasure, Goddess of the Earth, Angel of Joyfulness, Angel of Union, Angel of Emergence, Angel of the Universe, and Goddess of Sex. So going through and writing out different cards, different spreads, I mean, I've really shared with you some ideas. Doing a chart here. I don't know if you can see. Maybe I can come in a bit closer. Let's have a look. Oh, here we go. It's a chart here that you sort of do, and you can throw on maybe some crystals or some rune stones or some some spirit stones or something that's got symbols on it that you've created yourself or purchased, and then you cast, and whether they're near or far and what colour and everything can sort of go through. So just, I mean, so I think how important having notebooks, or here we've got some spreads written up into a folder that I can refer to if I feel like if I need something specific, maybe a spread that I haven't done for a while, I can go back and have a look at the notes. Because normally I just do sort of a bit of a free fall, as you'll notice when I do my readings on YouTube. You'll see that I do a bit of a free fall. So here you actually have some spreads. I can show you that one there is the Kachina knife spread and the corn stalk spread. So they were spreads that I'd written out of a Native American book that I found interesting. Here's some spreads that I sort of created from reading different books. I was reading a whole lot of books at a time, and so I would create my own spreads. Got a chakra spread, a Zena symbol spread, 7 Pillars of the Universe spread, and I know you can't really see them very clearly. I'm sorry that the lighting with this is a bit awful, but there we have the 7 pillars spread, you know. So writing up, you know, getting a scrapbook and writing up spreads is another way, just to keep a reference book. Letting self shine spread. Oops, I don't think you can see that very well, unfortunately. Some of the spreads are a bit light. Pencil. Some red pen there. So just going through and just writing up. I think journals, as you can see, I've just started lots of books on different areas. I've started writing up some zodiac information, Kabbalah, in relation to tarot, you know, zodiac profiles, Kabbalah stuff. So just going through and writing up different aspects of epic and fairy light tarot. I went through Tarot de Marseille. I've written up as I've learned it. Reference books from Predicting the Future. So I think it's really important. Here I've written up all sorts of tarot reversals. Just all sorts of information regard to my tarot decks, numerology information, my thoughts on a few cards. So just lots and lots of who am I, what are my thoughts, different things about La Vie de la Rose, flower essences, just all sorts. Chalice wildflower essences. So have journals for writing up and for everything, and it just allows you to develop your thoughts on tarot. As things change, things develop, you might have new words for the full, free will, self-determination, the magician, fully realized human being who has command over the full world, direction of own life. High Priestess, acquisition of spiritual knowledge. High Priest, faith, wisdom, inner growth. The Empress and the Emperor is realization of potential, but whether it's masculine or feminine. The Lovers, inner struggle, power and love. The Chariot, direction, need for order. Strength, self-discipline. The Hermit, search for meaning and purpose of self-awareness. Wheel of Fortune, karma, universal law of cause and effect. Justice, compassion, fairness and mercy. Hanged Man, self-doubt, indecision, death, change, transformation to reach goal. Temperance, restraint, moderation, forgiveness, self-discipline. The Devil, self-deception, indulgence, enslavement. The Tower, false pride, ill-conceived ambition. Star, guiding light, self-knowledge and awareness. Moon, intuitive and fear. Sun, male aspect of self. Judgment, responsibility and resurrect, and the world of discernment and endings. So you can see that as you find information from other books, write it down. You might come back to it later. It just gives you something to reference. Tarots, how to do a tarot spread where you use all 21 cards or 22 cards of the major arcana. What do I need to know about Thursday? Making a start. I use what I have today. Just going through actual ceremony for creating. That's the Botita, angels and archangels information. There's some food stuff written in there. Just all sorts of a book that I want. PDF Hermetic book, introduction workbook, Alchemy, Magic and Angel by Francis Garden. That was another bit of information. So I'm just writing down stuff, the heart and divine awakening experience as a result of the heart work. So just going through and writing things down is really important. And here I wrote down like cartomancy, playing cards, runes, Lenormand, Beline and Kipper. So I've written down all the keywords and developing within my own self, my own thoughts, my own opinions. There's still some that I still need to go through and fill in, even though I have written up the runes, as you can see there. I still have to write out, I still want to write a little bit more information about each rune, because I find different books have different aspects, and they're interesting to look back on and have a read. And here's another, a couple of books here, this one here, just sort of started, this is the Tree of Life. So I started doing the Tree of Life, so the Kabbalah stuff and the planets in the Hebrew with some of the tarot. So that's a little bit of further tarot study. And here I have, another book that I started and started writing up and things. I've got the New Zealand Fairy Oracle. I wrote up all the cards, wrote up all the knowledge from the cards, just so that I actually have that reference. I don't have to keep looking up at the little white book. It just makes it a little bit easier. Same with the Native American Tarot. I'm so pleased I actually had, because I've lost the book, so I was so pleased that I'd actually written up the information before. Kabbalah spread. I went through and wrote up that information. And temples on the other side. Wrote up that information, and you can have a look at cards and numerology. The planets, fallen angels. I went up and wrote up all the fallen angels, and I'm so pleased because of the shift and everything, all that stuff that was removed. And then we've got the Leninmand information all written up, and so I had a lot of this stuff, and it's so handy to look back on what my thoughts were and what my opinions. So I've just babbled on. I just realised over half an hour. You're going to be bored as silly. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, take care and do journals. Journal your tarot. Journal your journey as you go through this self-discovery. I mean, I've written up journals for over 20 plus years, and this is just a sample of some of the books and some of the journals that I've written up. So go ahead. I'd love to hear your thoughts on your journals, what you've created for yourself. Take care and blessed be. From HeKate's Crossing.